We're going to look at some amazing papaya growth that's taking place in my slowly but surely growing edible landscape. And we're also going to look at the really amazing nutritional value of papaya compared to the much more popularized starchy carbohydrate brown rice. And not surprisingly, papaya absolutely crushes brown rice. So let's take a look at a papaya that has grown. This guy started maybe the size of an egg. Now it's like approximating, moving towards football size. It's amazing how much it's grown. So these trees that we're looking at right here, a few of them were planted on April 8th. We'll take a look at them on April 8th compared to now. Some differences shocking. But first, small guy in the yard. This one was given to me by a neighbor, and half my neighborhood is like mulching their yards. It's amazing because it's much more nutritious for the soil. Grass does like nothing for it. It really robs in comparison. So we're going to take another view of this guy. You can see when I first got it, it was about this big, and it had a leaf on it. One leaf, no bigger than this, and that leaf was, so it's kind of like this little guy right here, a quarter or a third of this weed. And I couldn't even tell it was a papaya tree. He goes, oh no, it'll grow. And so I gave him a moringa tree, and he gave me this. And so this guy is growing, and it likes the spot that it's in. Have another small guy, another part of the yard, trying to see how it grows there. Curious to see how it grows and expands near this kind of fence there. It'll probably grow out and away from it, but I have no idea since I'm new at this thing. Well, this is the big growth that we're going to look at now. This was April 8th. This guy was planted here last year. I planted this guy on the other side last year. It wasn't doing well, so I put him over here instead. This is April 8th. Look at the growth to April 26th. This guy's getting much bigger. This guy's, kind of like the little papaya that could a little bit. And then 519, look at the difference. Bam, 519. So then this guy is really going. The guy up front, now I knew he had hope. Now, this next picture is going to be 2 months later in July. Look at the difference now. Pow! I mean, that's crazy. And even, this is from last week, this guy here, which is the one on this side, and this one over here is the other side. They're both now up to the roof line already. It's just amazing how fast these suckers grow. You can see what I did. I mulched out the area. Weeds growing through, so I pulled them all out, got in there and got rid of them and remulched some more. So now it looks better, and different times of the day you can see how the leaves look different, but this is like amazing. This guy's popping off a bunch of little papayas now on it, so it's pretty amazing. So on the other side, instead of this fence, and this guy here, by the way, is a banana tree. The other side of the fence are more papaya trees. There are the three we're going to talk about. So here they are lined up. And this was that banana tree that's way bigger also. So we're going to pop an official red line on the papaya tree in the back, so you can see when I click the next picture, this will line up. And up top here by the roof, so you can kind of see. Now, remember in the back I mulched it out. Well, I planted some more trees in here to create that foresty kind of feel. I planted moringas between this guy, these two, and these two. So this next picture you're going to see, this was on April 8th, and this was yesterday. Look at the difference. Pow! I mean, it's unbelievable. And back here, what you see is I created a trellis system. There's 4 dragon fruit trees there, so we'll see if they produce. But just look at how massive this papaya is. So it started off, you can see, we'll back up here, below the fence line by a foot to 18 inches, and now it's already up there. Same thing for this guy here, and this guy's up to here. I mean, just amazing growth. So let's look at the nutritional value of papayas. And they absolutely crush whole grains like brown rice. So brown rice, of course, is a popular whole grain for dinner meals, and oatmeal is for breakfast. You can do a comparison yourself. This comes from nutrition data. And what they do is they give you options. So I chose the largest papaya, and you get 150 calories in that papaya. You can see the size, 150 calories, and then the glycemic load is 9. You want to be below 10 if you can, which is always great. And so let's look at the omega-6, omega-3 ratio. Now I realize, of course, that papayas are certainly low in fat. We're going to look here at the omega-6, omega-3 ratio. Here are your omega-3s. Here are 6s. The ratio is always done 6 to 3, 6 to 3, 6 to 3. And the goal is to be below 4 to 1 across your day, and that even includes with supplements. Fish oil supplements being the most popular. And if you're not sure, check out my krill oil videos. Fish oil is a far better deal. And we don't really need to take krill oil unless you're going for the carotenoid supplements component of it. So the ratio is 1 to 4, which is magnificent. Now, there's going to be almost no fat load anyway, of course. But the point is the magnificent ratio. The magnificent ratio, the good glycemic load. And let's look at one of the most important and forgotten minerals of all is potassium. Potassium is required for proper vasoregulation. It's required for proper insulin signaling. And potassium is the key nutrient that we consume that maintains acid-base balance. Adequate potassium throughout a lifetime can help to preserve bone and muscle mass as we age. So we compare potassium to sodium. 100 times more potassium than sodium. Now, the average American eats more sodium. Average American's about 3,500 milligrams of sodium per day. And typically under 3,000 milligrams, 2,600 to 1,000 milligrams of potassium a day. This is terrible. 100 times more potassium in papaya compared to sodium. So this is just 150 calories. So it's not hard to get to the 7,000 milligrams of potassium per day that our pre-industrial, for sure, relatives consumed. Since the industrialization and the fake food market, and sodiumizing everything, we've really lost this ratio. This is one of the more important ratios to maintain throughout life for cardiovascular health and musculoskeletal health, and inflammation in general as well. So let's compare the omega-6, omega-3, and we're going to look at glycemic load, omega-6, omega-3, and potassium. So here is brown rice, 1 cup, cooked, 216 calories. The load is 22. This is considered a high glycemic load. Basically, the way to look at it is below 10 is low, between 10 and 20, middle, medium, and above 20 is a high glycemic load. So not terribly high, you can go way higher, but certainly much higher than equal calories, or what would be equal calories from papaya. Let's look at the omega-6, omega-3 ratio. Remember, we want to be below 4 to 1, below 4 to 1, and brown rice gives us 21 to 1. Now, don't freak out if you eat brown rice. It's okay. Not much of a lipid penalty, a fat penalty at all. There's like 18 calories of fat in a cup of rice, 18 calories, so it's nothing to worry about. There's basically 9 calories per gram of fat, so less than 18 calories, so it's nothing to worry about. But look, the ratio is dismal, absolutely dismal, and if the rest of your day is dismal, this is just adding to the dismalness of the rest of your day. Now, the problem with grains, because if you think about the average American, people eat bread, meat, cheese. That's like the mainstay, and then all types of dessert products, which basically is sugar, flour, and refined oils. So where's the potassium? Where's the omega-3? It's not there. So what we should be doing is buffering. Now remember, the potassium plays a role in acid-base balance, which means its function is to alkalize. So it buffers the acid load created by the body and the acid load created by acidic foods. So this is the potassium content in brown rice, 84 milligrams. What'd you get in less calories from papaya? 977. So here the relationship is a 10 to 1 ratio of potassium to sodium, and that ratio in papaya was 100 to 1. We need more potassium. The only people who don't need to take more potassium are people who have high levels of potassium in circulation, and you would know that from a blood test. People who are commonly, a lot of your blood pressure medications can increase potassium. It's called hyperkalemia. And shockingly, people need to be worried about this if they're taking a bunch of blood pressure meds. So that would be the classic scenario. So otherwise, we need more potassium, and we're not getting it from our grains. This is one of the reasons why between the omega-6s at 22 to 1, the glycemic load, the omega-6s, and the 0 potassium means that whole grains suck compared to fruits. And the example in this video, of course, was the amazingly nutritious papaya.